So hello everyone and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host JC Botero 67 and guest Alex Sinclair.
Hello again, everyone.
So yeah, we're taking a look at Smutty chapter 49 today.
Indeed, and it was incredibly smutty.
And delicious.
It was, yes. So, change of plans. I'm going to actually start off this review for once. I can't really say that because I've only guessed it like twice, but still. So going into this chapter, I had a thought, like, Sebastian devouring Ciel's soul as he dies, possibly, and then bonding them together into one body, very, like Ash and Angela kind of thing, which I thought would be interesting. I don't know how well it would work out, but...
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and read this quote from the opening of the chapter. This was nothing new, this routine. Ciel would come home at all hours of the night, usually from patrolling, and Sebastian would be waiting patiently for him. What the demon did during all that time to entertain himself, the young man never really knew, but not once did he complain. And I'm sitting here like, oh, you know what he does when you're not around Ciel.
He's masturbating.
Yes, very much so.
And, to the thought of Ciel.
Yes, and possibly Father Spears from the last chapter. I don't know what they did when when it cut away from Sebastian and the father,
Oh yeah, did that ever come to a close, or didn't he leave or something?
Really? No, oh my God. It cut off at
I'm sorry, I have to look this up right now.
I think it cut off where Father Spears was like, "What can I do to help?" or something like that, and I was like, "You know what you could do to help."
Oh my gosh, Alex, I love you for this. This is like so great. Oh my gosh, I'm glad we like re-recorded this because now I'm just like needing to look this up, which I'm doing right now.
I can't believe I just remembered too. Like, that's great.
Oh man. Okay, so wait, what else is happening in our notes? You can go ahead and talk about the book thing while I look this up.
So, going in from the last chapter, Sebastian was laying there reading, and J.C. Botero and I each had our own theory as to what the book was. She possibly thought Karma Sutra, and then I thought, it was a Bible, because Ciel said it was a really familiar book. So I was like, well, he's Christian, he goes to church a lot, Bible. But it turns out that it was the Divine Comedy, which is not only how Sebastian and Ciel met the first time in the school library, but also it acts as a great metaphor because Ciel's about to go into hell, and that's, for those of you that don't know, is essentially what the Divine Comedy is about. So I'm really surprised that we didn't pick that up earlier.
Okay, sorry, I'm like still like looking this up. So I was just gonna say, because you just talked about like the Divine Comedy, what's it about? Have you read that book before?
I have.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't, so
Really?
I'll have to like read it.
You should also see Dante's Inferno. It's a good movie.
I know. I wanna like read it, watch it, all that stuff. I did read Revelations though, because in a much earlier review, I can't even remember what chapter it was, I wanted to compare certain aspects of the Book of Revelation with Revelations. So, I figured it'd be a cool thing to do. And, like, I actually made connections. I was like, oh, Claude could be, like, this, like, I don't know. I think they're, like, two beasts or something in Revelations. And so I was like, oh, Claude could be one of them. And then, Hannah was, like, was it a whore? I think so. I was like...
Is that really a surprise? If Hannah was the whore? I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, I had mentioned that in the review. I was like, oh, like, this is her. So, just based on how the character was described and, like, I don't know. It just went, like, hand in hand with AnimeCujo's Revelations, so. Okay, so I opened up chapter 48, and you were indeed right. It ends with Spears being, all right then. He replied in the familiar stoic tone. What do you need me to do?
He needs you to do a lot of things, William.
Right? Yeah.
Get naked, stay naked.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway. Where are we? Oh yeah, I had made notes too on like the Divine Comedy, and I could not believe that we had forgotten about that book. And it's obviously very symbolic, as you mentioned earlier, about it being the first meeting, and then it kind of goes hand in hand with Ciel's about to go to hell. So yeah, I can't believe we didn't pick up on that.
I'm actually kind of disappointed in us.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this reminds me of our previous failed recording and how we were talking about how, like, I would guess or predict, like, 3 different things that could happen, and then AnimeCujo had such brilliancy. I don't even know if that's a word, but whatever, I made it up. So, I mean, she just comes up with ways to, like, surprise us. And so it's, like, all these, like, little twists and stuff that happen. So... Anyway.
It's so funny because, like, you think that you know all the possible ways it could go, and then AnimeCujo and Black Rose Eden are like, no, baby, it's going this way. And it's like, where the hell did that road have come from? Like,
right? It's like, why couldn't I think of this? Anyway, coming back to the Divine Comedy and such. So, there was this quote from Ciel, and it is about Paradiso and Inferno, and it basically goes back to their first meeting and how Sebastian had asked him, oh, which do you prefer? And so here goes the quote. I remember that day. You asked me which I preferred, the Paradiso or the Inferno. At the time I thought, no. I knew that it was Paradiso to which I felt the closest attachment. However, now it doesn't really matter much to me. You see, I don't really care what awaits for me in paradise or hell, whether it is brutal torture or divine bliss, none of it matters if you aren't there with me. And so I read this, and I don't know why, it just like came to my mind. I was like, Ciel wouldn't mind betraying God just to go to hell with Sebastian?
You know what I never realized? That could potentially also hint towards possible corruption on Ciel's part. The fact that, like, now he wouldn't even second guess betraying God to go with Sebastian.
I like that. This is totally new from what we...
It is.
...previously tried to record.
Well, we have to keep it interesting, otherwise it sounds really robotic when we're redoing it.
Yes. It's true. And then I know you had said something... what did you say? But I was like, oh, well, we don't have to worry about Ciel betraying God so much because, Sebastian betrayed Satan, so...
Oh,
but I
yeah,
like
that's right.
Yeah, but I like your idea of, like, him potentially getting corrupted. And because I know we talked also, it was like last review or maybe the previous one, it was the whole like Ciel kind of siding with Satan for a little bit, but then Ciel kind of goes behind Satan and attacks him, kills him, whatever.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, so I just thought about that too.
So. I brain farted for a minute. I was like, what?
No,
I'm back now.
Yay, that's good. So moving on. Oh, I remember the moving right along thing. Because it's like, what is it? My catchphrase, I guess?
Yes, it is your J.C. Botero Theorist catchphrase.
Yes. Moving right along. Even though this time I said moving along. Or moving on, actually. Okay, anyway. So, breakdown number 1 of 2. And it was Ciel. And, he's, like, in this, like, sad moment, but he's just too cute. And, like, I just want to, like, comfort him and cuddle him for, like, forever. For, like, hours.
I wish, like, I had a Ciel stuffed thing to, like, cuddle with all the time.
Like a body pillow thing?
Yeah. Or, like,
I want that.
Black Rose Eden has one of those little, Seb's dolls. And it's just so cute.
Well, I have my pop vinyl, but it's too tiny, and yeah. Is it called pop vinyl? I don't know. It's like my little pop doll. I'll post a picture of it, but yeah. I have Ciel and Sebastian. They're adorable. But I find them hard to cuddle with, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to cuddle with really small things. I'm gonna, move on and pretend I didn't just say that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read this quote while Sebastian's trying to calm Ciel in the middle of his sob fest. Sebastian fought to keep the uncertainty out of his own voice, wanting nothing more than to calm Ciel. I will always be by your side. Even in death, even when you can't see me, he promised in a whisper. And that's kind of where it finally hit me, that Revelations is coming to an end. And I really don't necessarily think it's going to be happy, and I'm kind of trying to make myself come to terms with that. Because there will always be another story somewhere in the future where it might end happy. So.
Yay. I was totally gonna, like, spoil a certain story, but maybe I shouldn't.
Which one?
I don't want to say, because I think people will know right when I say.
Uh.
Okay, anyway, we won't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on with these notes we have, I have the "Make Love to Me" quote, which is what I've so nicely called it. So I'll go ahead and read it. Make love to me, just as we are, like two people in love. Not as a demon and not as an angel, but as Sebastian and Ciel. And, like, I really love that quote. And, you know, it's just, I'm gonna kind of steal what you said earlier. It's, you know, we're so used to seeing them as, like, oh, Sebastian's, like, a demon. He's, like, the general of Satan's army, and then, or ex-general, I guess. And then you have Ciel, who's half human, half angel. So, you know, we kind of don't look into the fact that, oh, like, they're just normal people right now, and, you know. So I really like that quote. It really, I don't even know how to describe it. I can't even find the right word, but I just loved it. So, yeah. And then just as you had the quote from Sebastian that, you know, it hit you and you're like, oh, it's not going to end happily, perhaps. I also had that, but with a quote from Ciel. So, here goes. Burn the memory of us into my soul, Sebastian, so that even if it is taken from my physical body, I will remember this night, you and me, for all eternity. And so I'm just like, oh, like, this is, like, so sad, and, like, you know, it might not end happily, and, yeah.
You know what
Anyway.
I could see from AnimeCujo, though? I could see her ending it really sadly, and then in the epilogue being like, and then Ciel magically comes back, oh my god.
Right?
And then, like, ending it, like, happily, but for, like, a week or 2 weeks between postings, everyone's just like, oh, I can't believe it. And then it's like, oh, well, she made it happy in the end. So
yeah. It's like she made us cry, and now we get to cry tears of happiness.
Exactly.
I would not be surprised if that happened, but hey, she always, like, twists things around for us, like I said earlier, so.
That's very true.
Who knows how it'll go.
If I'm lucky, it'll end sadly, like the week that I'm supposed to be shooting that crying scene for Alois, and then I can read it and then cry and then record really fast, like, before I stop crying.
Right? We'll see, we'll see. So moving on with the review. The lamp. Oh, I remember talking about this. So I was like, okay, they're starting to get into it, and then Ciel just grabs the book and, you know, chucks it. And I don't know if it's intentional or not, but, you know, the book ends up hitting the lamp and it gets knocked over. And so I'm like, dude, this is, like, totally classic right here.
It is. We should ask AnimeCujo if it was intentional or not.
Oh, we should. Yeah, that's a good point. We'll do that. And then we can talk about it next chapter and be like, it was so intentional. Like...
Yes, definitely. Ooh, the next review is going to be really fun, because Ciel will finally be in hell, and it's going to get crazy. I can't wait.
Finally be in hell.
Yes, it's taken a while, so.
Right, I know. We finally get the chapter we've awaited.
I'm wondering where the opening to hell's going to be, too.
I know, you know, and I mean, it's too late for me to even, you know, tell AnimeCujo anything, but it was like a few months back, I think. And so my mom and I were watching the Today Show, and, you know, they had a special on, like, this cave somewhere in California, and I guess it's kind of considered an entryway to hell.
Oh.
Yeah. And
That's
I think
cool.
there are other, yeah, and I think there are other kinds of places like that. But yeah, like this cave, it was like really cool because like you start to go in, and like the deeper you like go in, like you kind of feel like presence is there, and like I think there was like some I don't even know the position title of this lady, but like, she could feel like some kind of spirit or something like in her ear, and it was basically telling her, and the other girl, like the reporter, and it was telling them to like get out. And
It
so
may have. Are you thinking of medium possibly, or?
yeah, I think so, maybe. So yeah, and like they exited the cave. Like no one goes like full into the cave. Like you can go in part way, but
I would. That sounds like fun.
that's funny.
There's like
Even
another place somewhere. I don't remember where it is. Somewhere eccentric where there's like a big hole in the ground and it's like always like on fire. Like it's like a never-ending fire in like this big hole.
Yeah, I've
And
heard. I can't remember where that is.
I can't either, but like all the locals are like, well, that's a passageway to hell, and it's all like creepy and awesome. And
Ooh, that
oh,
is
is
really
it?
cool sounding.
Oh, my husband just informed me that it is called the Gateway to Hell or something like that. So,
Yes. Okay, but where is it? Does he know?
no, he has no idea.
Ah.
Thank you for being.
Thank you, Brody. Yes.
Thank you for being kind of informative.
Yes.
Everyone go
No, no.
Google Gateway to Hell thing.
Exactly. There you go.
And then let us know where it is, because we have no clue where the hell it is.
I know, right? I'll probably look it up later, and we can talk about this next review too. Like, if you want to go visit this place, here's a cheap airplane ticket to there. Okay. So anyway, moving. I don't even want to say my catchphrase anymore.
Moving right along.
Moving on. That's gonna be like my new catchphrase. Moving on to this sexy part of the review.
Yeah.
Or sexy part of the review. Wait, sexy part of the chapter.
Yeah, we're not about to get sexy. The chapter's gonna get sexy.
Yes, the chapter. Sorry.
I mean, I could take off my shirt, but no one's gonna see it. So
there you go. Oh man. Okay, so sexy part of the chapter. And I love the way you worded it, because I basically wrote, oh, I like the twist of Sebastian eating him out rather than kissing him.
And then I informed her that it is called a rim job, which just sounds nicer. I think it's a little more eloquent,
Yes.
kind of thing. And yes,
Oh, yeah.
I said eloquent, not eloquent, because
I love that.
I'm a rebel. I can't.
It's like a combo.
I can't claim it because it's not mine, because I stole it from Michelle Visage from RuPaul's Drag Race, but still.
It's okay. I like the word because it kind of meshes like elegant and eloquent together.
It does. I never
That's how
actually
I
thought
see
about
it.
it that way. I don't know.
So, yeah. Yeah, I was just about to say, I was like, you put it in a much more elegant way. Like, I really like that phrase, like, or word, I guess. I never even knew about it, so.
You're so innocent.
I see, everyone tells me that.
and you're older than me, which is funny.
But see, I know that's very true. But see, if I'm that innocent, like, I mean, go read my Nutella one-shot.
That's very true. That was not from the innocent mind.
No, absolutely not. And then my other one-shot, which I've yet to post.
Oh, yeah, I hope you post
that one's
eventually.
Even, yeah. I think people are going to come at me with pitchforks, as AnimeCujo would say.
Oh, they'll get over it.
And I'll get the comments of, oh, you're gonna go to hell.
Oh, yeah. Well. That's where all the sexy people are, so.
That's true. Sebastian. Claude. Anyway.
After Tights, probably William, so.
Ooh. Hello, William. Okay, sorry. Okay. So, where were we? Okay, yeah, we talked about the rim job.
Yes.
And then, okay, now it's me. So, there were no wings this time. So, I mean, there was a moment in the chapter when, the wings wanted to, like, emerge, but I guess CL just didn't let them and stuff.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Sorry. Brody found out where it is.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Door to Hell, and it's in Turkmenistan.
Ooh.
I have no freaking clue where that is, but...
Well, Middle East.
Well, yeah, I would assume. But yeah, so cool.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
We should plan a trip there one day.
Very possible.
Just to check it out.
California is a lot closer.
Yeah, that is very true. That is like a neighboring state for me, so that works. You know what I also want to do in California? They have this, like, this is really random, I'm sorry. Tree branch, as you would call it.
Yes.
When you first mentioned Tree Branch, because we were talking about like other characters that could be introduced, like new characters, and when you said Tree Branch, I thought you literally meant a tree branch.
No, that's just what I call it when I go off topic.
Right. So yeah, at first, yeah, I was like, oh, but then you kept saying it, and then that's when I realized I'm like, oh, okay, that's a cool way of putting it, because it's like you start off with the tree, and then it just, all these like little branches that keep emerging because we go off topic, and
Eventually, we're gonna have to get to a leaf and then go back to that trunk and then continue on. But
to that trunk, I don't know. Sorry. See, I'm not as innocent as I appear to be. Okay. Okay, sorry. So anyway, what was I talking about? Tree branching again. There's this corn maze thing.
ooh,
I think it's San Francisco? Or is it Sacramento? No, San Francisco, I think. So I'm just like, dude, I want to go there because it seems cool, and it's like this like really big maze.
that sounds like
And,
fun.
like-
I love corn mazes and shit.
Right? I want to like go to that, and it's people like would get lost. I saw this on Today too, like Today Show, and people would get lost, so they'd be constantly calling 911 because they're like in the middle of the cornfield, and they're like, we can't get out.
That is so like I would be freaking out. I'd probably have a panic attack.
See, this is how I look at it though, because I don't know what time they entered the maze, and I don't know if it was like nearing nighttime and they're freaking out. So
Oh, that's true. Like if it's like 2 PM, it's like get over it and just start walking through corn in some direction. You'll find something.
That's what one of the anchors said too. He's like, "Oh yeah, just make a pathway like that." I'm like, "That's very true." But see, if I were to go to this thing, I mean, I would get up early.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Go well, it depends on when that place opens too. But if I can like kind of like sneak in and just get there at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. or something, because I work at 6 a.m. So like I don't have a problem being up that early. And then because if I do get lost or something, like I have the rest of the day to
figure out your way out.
Find my way out, exactly. Okay. So enough tree branching. I don't even know how we got to that point.
I don't either. Oh, we were talking about the door to hell, and then we
Oh
started talking
yeah,
about
in California. Yes. Okay, got it. So anyway, I was on the topic of wings.
Oh, that's right.
How they didn't get summoned out and anything, and it goes hand in hand with what CL said earlier, how he wants to make love as two people rather than angel and demon. So I thought it was, again, that quote was just awesome. But anyway, breakdown number 2 of 2, which would be Sebastian now. And I personally found it to be a little bit unexpected, but then at the same time, it does go to show how much he has bottled up and how he's just like letting it all pour out now.
Ooh, sorry.
It's okay.
Dying slightly. Yeah, I agree. It was really unexpected, especially because, it's, during sex, and I'm not going to say Sebastian was the uke this time because he is the seme, but...
Oh, yeah. Maybe that was the blooper. No, that wasn't the blooper. It was something else.
It was anyway. One of the bloopers.
Yes, that's true. Okay.
But it's just very not like Sebastian, like I said the last time he had a breakdown, it's like always very shocking because he's so masculine and he's always the strong one, and then he has his weak moment, and then that makes me think he might possibly be becoming even more innocent. And then the quote that you enjoyed so much is that it could possibly lead towards having one sexy ass dark haired angel of a man of Sebastian. So that would be, I don't know, it just seems like he's progressively becoming more and more undemon, if that makes sense. Less and less of a demon, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yes. Did you want to read your quote, or?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Okay. Go for it.
The angel huffed as the wind was knocked out of him from the powerful move, Sebastian's face hovering just a few inches from his. You have to come. Wait, you have to. Whoops.
Wow!
That got Now I can't even. I was gonna say you have to come back to me, but that's not the. I'm looking at the words and I can't read it.
That was beautiful. I must say.
Oh my god.
That is so funny. Oh my god. Major giggle attack right now. Oh my god. I was gonna say, whoa, like. Oh man.
This is all blooper all the time.
I know, seriously. Oh my gosh.
Alright, I'm gonna try that again. And see what happens.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't even like stop laughing right now. That was great. Oh man.
I can't wait till AnimeCujo gets to listen to our blooper reel.
I know, right?
She's gonna die on the subway.
Oh man.
Alright, let me try this again.
Okay, go for it.
The angel huffed as the wind was knocked out of him from the powerful move. Sebastian's face hovering I can't even.
Do you want me to read it?
Yes, please, because I'm dying.
Okay, so really quick before we do read this quote, because before this little part, Sebastian was telling CL, come back to me. Like, you know, I think he said it like 2-3 times. And I have something to say about that afterward. Or I guess I could say it now. I just found it very heartbreaking. And then this quote that I'm about to read for Alex, I mean, it was just all so, like, sad and, you know, just kind of like it further, how do I explain this? You know, it just further made me think like, oh, well, you know, it might be a sad ending in the end. And I mean, I saw comments on this chapter on AO3 or Archive of Our Own. And, you know, people are just like so worried about this ending, sadly. Like so many people want the happy ending. And, you know, they're all hoping for that. So, I mean, I'm hoping the same thing. But anyway, I'll go ahead and read this quote real quick. The angel huffed as the wind was knocked out of him from the powerful move. I can't even do this. Oh, man. I kept composure so well, and now I can't. Okay.
We might just have to skip this quote. Go read the chapter.
Seriously. I can't even. Okay. Well, I'll just, like, skip that part. And then, basically, Sebastian says, you can't die there. I need you. I need you here. A heavy sob tore from Sebastian's throat as a fresh batch of hot tears dripped down his chin.
Thank you.
Yay, I survived. Okay. So.
And you wouldn't know from all the giggling, but that was a very emotional moment.
I know, right? We totally ruined it for people.
We did. We're just like sitting here cackling like two old ladies.
Seriously.
But that's okay. So.
Yeah, it happens. So.
And then I'm not sure if there's anything else you wanted to say about this part, but we finally get on to the exchange of blood yet again.
Oh yeah. Well, real quick before we get into the whole blood exchange thing, because when you read that quote in the previous thing, we laughed about something. Oh, desperation. I think you messed up that word.
Oh, I did. I went desperate, and then I had to continue.
And yeah, we had like a little giggle there, but it wasn't as crazy as just now. So anyway, about the blood exchange, I basically just put it's always sexy, and that this could tie into discuss theories of Sebastian becoming an angel or CL being tainted. And as you recall, you mentioned this last review, but way back in, like, toward the beginning of Typhs. Whoa, okay, where'd that come from? I'm so sorry. I just, like, read Typhs right now, so that's kind of threw me off. Way back at the beginning of Revelations, you know, we see CL experiencing, like, the whole shoulder pain, and then eventually his wings do come out. And so you said that you felt that happened a little too quickly, and that CL could potentially be tainted. So, you know, he's kind of like a half angel, half demon. So. But then I think Sebastian would have sensed the whole demon part to him, but maybe it's very minor. That's hard to tell. I don't know. Anyway.
For this next part, I'm just going to read the part that I have super gigantic.
Okay.
And then, because I don't know, I feel like it's the most important part.
Okay.
Disgust for the act of blood exchange had left him entirely, Ciel now wanting nothing more than to have any piece of Sebastian to take with him tomorrow. He now understood what it meant to exchange the sanguine liquid. It was more than just the physical act of drinking and devouring. It was about accepting a part of someone else into you. It was about allowing another into your heart, your body, your soul, and Ciel wanted Sebastian to be mixed into every single molecule of him. And that led into my no longer secret theory about, like, what if Sebastian somehow absorbs Ciel's soul? I think I said this in the beginning, but, like, and then they could be, together forever and shit. Or, like, if he somehow devoured it, like, pulled a Hannah Anafellos and devoured it, making it so that Ciel couldn't die somehow. I don't know. I just thought those would be the nicest ways to keep Ciel around, even though it might not happen. I just like to have my little loopholes.
Yes. And then I guess I'll go ahead and conclude, at least for chapter 49, because we might throw Tyson in here. But anyway, I'll go ahead and conclude this part of the review with my secret theory. So basically my thought was, Sebastian was constantly like, oh, come back to me, you have to. And, it just had me thinking, because I feel like everyone feels something is going to happen to Ciel. And it came to my mind, I was reading chapter 49 for some reason, that maybe it's not Ciel who will have something happen to him. Like, it could be Sebastian who gets hurt or dies. And I feel it would be a twist because, everyone sees Sebastian as, oh, he was like the powerful general of Satan's army, as opposed to Ciel, who's, half human. And so, I guess he would be kind of weaker in a sense. So I don't know, I just saw it that way. We did talk about, like, the whole angel thing, and, that would result in, like, Sebastian maybe getting hurt, maybe dying.
That is very true. And
but
also,
yeah.
Your theory holds some merit to what I thought was a secret theory, what I've already shared multiple times, I think, of Sebastian potentially secretly following Ciel into hell, even though he said he wouldn't. Like, and then sacrificing himself. So I very well do think that Sebastian could be the one taking a fatal blow in the coming chapters.
Rather than Ciel. Because I don't know, I haven't really seen comments, but I just feel everyone's, like, really worried about Ciel.
Yeah, and it's been building up the whole story, essentially, like, Ciel's parents were killed, and then Ciel is the last hope, and then, if he dies, then the world's gonna crumble into nothing, and then it's like, it's all very building up towards a Ciel fatality kind of ending.
It's very true. And then, like, him wanting to say goodbye to Lizzie, and, his, having told Angelina, oh, you were the best mom I could ever ask for. Just things like that. I think that's why everyone's kind of leaning toward, oh, something's going to happen to Ciel. So, yeah. And then real quick to finish off this chapter 49 review, in the author's note, AnimeCujo totally promoted our Cielium collaboration project, which everyone should go check out.
Yes,
so,
very much so.
Thank you, AnimeCujo, for that. So,
I'm giving her a heart symbol with my hands, even though she can't see it.
Oh, I know, right? I was thinking about doing the same thing. Twinsies. I didn't do it, though, but
you bum. I did it.
Okay, fine, I'll do it. Doing it right now.
Okay.
Okay. So, Alex and I decided that we will do Typhs in a separate recording. So, goodbye for now with the Chapter 49 review, and we'll see you shortly in the Typhs review.
Indeed. Goodbye, loyal viewers. I will be back.